God, these white folks are tired, honestly. They are tired. Now they want unity. Now they want peace. Now they want revolution. See, if what these people actually voted was doing what they absolutely love, I can tell you that these people will not come out and say they want revolution. So now, a particular person just sat down, and he is a Maga fan. He is a big fan of Maga supporter. Like, he is back to back with Maga. Now he sat down and he looked at what is actually happening, and that particular situation is actually not favoring him. The particular situation is actually not sitting well with him. And now what do he have to do? He have to come up with the purple revolution. Now, why the purple revolution, you might ask? He wanted the red and the blues to come together and make the purple revolution. It is not for anything but because, according to what he has been saying, and I have been seeing in most of his feeds and some of the people that are actually reacting, he said, we need to come together to take the country. To take the country back. The question is, if we come together and take the country back, who will the country still be favoring? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time tuning in, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, with that being said, with no further ado, let's dive right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's watch.
Good morning, everyone. So this video came across my page, and this is good trouble. And I'm sure most of you know who this is, okay? He's a Democrat and very staunch, and falls into the category of what we would consider blue MAGA. But let's hear what he has to say about the Purple Revolution.
It's not left versus right, it's up versus down. Sure, but I think that we can do two things at the same time. I think we can acknowledge that there are wealth-hoarding capitalist monsters dooming millions of people into poverty, and then also some of those millions of people who are doomed to poverty also kind of want immigrants to have no rights in America, and also want women to have different rights in America, and also want gay people to have different rights. It's a little bit of left versus right.
So this is the divisions that we're having here in America, because you need to understand something. A lot of us that left the Democrat Party, such as myself, that I am now a no-party person, I am not represented at all, that I realized that propaganda, exactly what he's talking about, that he talks about putting down the differences and, you know, mocking it, and then saying, but then it's also this, which is basically not letting go of any of the divides. Because what Good Trouble is missing here is that what the Purple Revolution isn't a bunch of people saying, hey, let's come together and we'll be the masses and let's vote our conscience. This isn't politics as usual. You need to understand, Good Trouble, specifically you, it's not about those issues right now. All of that is second to what we have to do. We literally, when we're talking about coming together, we're not talking about coming together for a political movement. We're talking about coming together to stand our fucking ground to take this fucking country back. It's not politics as usual. We will deal with politics when we get to have that time again, because right now we don't have that time. We can't just wait for voting, because by that time our rights are going to be fucking gone. So what the Purple Revolution is a revolution. It's us breaking away from authority, just like the American Revolution. That's what it was. We overthrew the English rule by revolution. Once we did that, imperial capitalism, the banks of the old English rule, started ruling us from our financial system. And we're just now realizing that, which this is the great noticing, and then that led us to the Purple Revolution. Because the Purple Revolution means that we see what the enemy is and we see what the problem is. So if you're saying these people that have woken up to this fact need to address the other propaganda bullshit, you're missing the point. That means you're psychologically not ready to be where the Purple Revolution is right now. Because remember, the Purple Revolution isn't led by a person. It's not led by an individual. It's the collective in us waking up and trying to do something to better our fucking lives. So if you're going to sit there and bash it, you're bashing the very thing that's going to free humanity. This is why I say you have red MAGA and you have blue MAGA. Depending on how indoctrinated and where they are in their indoctrination is how long it's going to take for them to wake up. Because at the end of the day, we have to put our differences down and we have to stop these divisive political arguments, because these are the political arguments. And I understand how impactful they are. Believe me. But the only way we make things better is by education and coming together, because we see warring with each other. Look where it puts us. And look what it let our government do. They sold it out from underneath of us to a foreign interest. All because we're fighting over trivial shit. And then that trivial shit has turned into troops in our cities. Undercover police departments. Taking people off the fucking street. This is why these divisive arguments need to stop. And that we need to come together for a common goal, a common purpose. And what's the common goal and common purpose? To save our fucking lives. That's it. Nothing else. Goal. Save our fucking lives. So if you want to keep playing politics as usual, you're going to hurt a lot of people. And that means your kids and my kids are getting mixed up into that too. And I'll be damned if I let some childish fucking bullshit that we can't fucking just talk as adults ruin my children's lives. Just understand. The Purple Revolution is specifically meant to free us. Not to take us into a new business or a new political platform and all of us instantly agree on politics. No. We will revisit politics once our system is safe and we have one that we can even argue politics. Because how do you even fucking argue politics at this point? You can't. Because we're not set up as a democracy right now. Right now, we don't know what the fuck we are. So we have to get control. So the Purple Movement is a revolution. Meaning, we're bringing our change. The change that has to happen. Basically, if you say you join the Purple Revolution, it means that you're taking a stand. Not just that you're taking a stand, but that you're swearing an oath to all of us to help us all fight, because we're only strong in numbers. That's what it is. And what does the fight look like? Whatever the fuck it takes.
So white people are on my FYP talking about Purple Revolution. And what this is from is there are particular creators, one whose name is actually Purple Revolution, who are talking about the fact that they are MAGA, or are coming out of MAGA, or are still MAGA and realizing that Trump lied to them, and that everything that they thought they believed in was a lie. Are these people woke? Not yet. But because these policies are not creating the world they thought it was going to create, and because it's actually harming them, and they're starting to realize that it's harming them, they're starting to realize that we need to come together to put an end to this regime. And they're calling it Purple Revolution in honor of the man who most of us have seen on our FYP talking about it. And so in these comments, I've seen multiple people from left, right, in between, and out on the edges talking about, I'm with you, sir. Let's get this done. Purple Revolution. I'm gonna call it the Prince movement. Okay. But I'm seeing a lot of these comments and hashtags, but I'm not seeing anything being put into action. And I know people aren't going to like display what they're doing behind the scenes on their social medias, but I want to know that the people who are predominantly white in these comment sections who are talking about Purple Revolution, the Prince movement, right, that they are going to actually put it into work. But something in me is telling them that they don't know how. And part of them is still waiting for black and brown people to take the lead, to be at the forefront of this movement. And that's just not going to happen. So for all of the white people who want to make Purple Revolution a real thing, who want to actually put an end to this tyrannical dictatorship, Here's a little advice. If y'all want this to be a real revolution with real results and not a revolution cosplay, then I need y'all to stop romanticizing 1776 and get a grip on reality and realize that we are in 2025. That means this is going to take strategy, discipline, and sacrifice, not hashtags and slogans. Don't just sit here and scream about tyranny and freedom without specifics. Y'all have to define what a non-tyrannical government looks like to you and the other people that you're trying to make this world better for. It means taking into account policies, rights, accountability. Then you'll need to write a platform. Short, plain English, understandable for most people, and actionable before anything else. Know your demands. Know what it is that you're fighting for, fighting and working towards. And for this to be a real revolution for real people, it can't just center you and your religious beliefs or your moral convictions, if that's what y'all want to call them. This has to be for everyone's basic human rights, while keeping in mind that you are going to allow people to live the way they want to live as long as they're not harming anyone else without imposing your own beliefs onto them. We need to be real big on minding our business. Y'all need to organize locally, not just online. Because real movements grow from neighborhoods up, not from hashtags down. Build chapters. Hold town meetings, town halls. Hold strategy sessions. Get people together and organized. Meet up and communicate face to face. Train members in action and community defense. Because every movement is going to need a defense party. It's going to be a big one for y'all, but y'all are going to have to sacrifice comfort, not just talk about it. A revolution that doesn't cost something is not a revolution. Risk your reputation. Call out racism and fascism anywhere and any place around anybody that you happen to hear it or see it. Risk your job. Organize unions. Push for changes for good in the workplace. Protect the whistleblowers. Risk your money. Fund the causes and leaders that are already doing the work. Protect those most vulnerable. Because if you're serious about ending tyranny, then you need to start where it hits the hardest. Black and brown communities, poor folks, LGBTQIA+, immigrants, disabled people. Make protecting the people of those communities your front line work, not an afterthought. To do that, you have to have empathy and be selfless. Stop idolizing strong men. You can't fight tyranny by continuing to create mini dictators. Absolutely no more cult of personality leaders. Use collective decision making and communication and transparency and share leadership roles, especially with those who come from marginalized communities. And study. Learn to understand how real movements work. Study the civil rights movement, labor movements, indigenous land defense. Study anti-apartheid movements and struggles. Understand that boycotts work. Money holds power. And please remember that mutual aid helps when states crack down. And be ready for state and governmental pushback. They might smear you, divide you, arrest you, threaten your jobs. This is normal. And if you aren't ready for it, you aren't ready for revolution. Center justice, not freedom. Because freedom without justice just becomes freedom for the powerful to oppress. Make equity, I know that word is scary, and rebuild the foundation. Or else you're just going to end up rebuilding a shinier version of the same system. Now, y'all are going to have to commit for the long run. You can't just give up the movement and stop doing the work when it's no longer trending on your FYP. We're talking about decades. If you can't do these things, you're not ready for a revolution and you're not really ready to end tyranny. You're just venting. Real change, real revolution takes discipline, humility, and the willingness to be uncomfortable and make sacrifices for the greater good of all, not just yourself.
Hey everyone, Bearded Leftist here. I want to have a conversation about this purple revolution that I keep seeing all over TikTok. And I know I'm a small content creator here on this app. I don't even have 5,000 followers. But I don't fucking care. It's my page, so I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want to. Here's the thing. I need some answers from this purple revolution. One, the biggest thing. Are you going to be anti-capitalist? Because I'm starting to think that you guys don't know fuck all about revolutions. And you don't remember history around revolutions. You don't remember what happened after the French Revolution. It wasn't good. And I'm starting to think that you guys don't actually understand your history around the American Revolution. It's starting to show. Because who took over after revolutions? It sure as fuck wasn't black people. It wasn't the slaves. No. Because remember, they stayed enslaved because we made a fucking compromise about the worth of their being, of their existence. And yeah, I get the arguments that it helps stack votes in the North so that they could overthrow slavery eventually. After how many fucking years of suffering, though? Who took over after the American fucking Revolution? Because it sure as hell wasn't women either. It sure as hell wasn't immigrants. Who was it, people? Answer me that fucking question. What the fuck are you going to do to stop that from happening again? All the fucking problems that exist in this world stem from capitalism because capitalism is driven by white males in order to keep power because money is power. Not voting, not expressing your voice, not protesting. We're starting to see that already with what's happening to protesters around the country. No, fucking money equals power. And that's why these billionaires strive so hard to keep their vast wealth. And the government cronies that support them, they're bootlicking the billionaires. Meanwhile, MAGA's bootlicking the cronies. You're just gonna fucking repeat history. This is not the right solution, guys. The only right solution, because systemic racism is rooted in capitalism, prejudice is rooted in capitalism. Christian nationalism is rooted in capitalism. So the only thing you can do to stop this from repeating is to overthrow capitalism itself. So if you want me, and I don't speak for the far left, but this is my opinion as a far leftist, if you want us on board, you got to show us that you're ready to fight capitalism and overthrow it and replace it with something better that doesn't immediately create a vacuum of power that rich white men are just going to suck up and ruin everyone's fucking lives again. In short, that's the only way you're going to convince me that this is not just that this is not basically just a political ploy to try to keep power again, because that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like a revolution. It doesn't feel like justice for all. This feels like a way to try to get as many conservatives and Republicans to vote a singular way. I know you're saying that's not what it is, but that's what it feels like in order to maintain power. So, convince me otherwise.
I've been thinking a lot about this Purple Revolution stuff, and I'm theoretically into it. We have a serious class divide issue, not a party divide issue. However, this still feels like white people galvanizing and leaving a wake of marginalized victims behind us. Learned prejudice is a festering, inherited wound. One that we have tried for so long to deny and ignore, and it just makes us sicker and sicker and sicker. If you're coming in here from MAGA, I've met a lot of you recently, and I'm willing to talk to you because you've always been my aunts and uncles. You've always been the people I'm in a room with. But we talk about uncomfortable stuff over here. We find out why we feel how we feel and where those things come from. Cultural othering is not biology. It is a tool wielded by governments to stop us from doing this very thing, getting together and demanding our fair share of the money. If we're allying now because you lost your farm, you also need to acknowledge the brown people who have lost their freedom, the trans people who can no longer serve in our military, the gay people who will possibly not be married next year, the black men and their razor bumps, the black women who have been running around in the background, becoming the most educated group in our country. So to say that they didn't earn a spot, you have to assume when you see a black pilot or a black doctor, that person actually is probably 10 times as qualified, possibly more, to equal the confidence of a mediocre white man with 1 degree trying to take that job. these are all truths that you have to also digest. Now, there are lots of people doing TikTok lives all over the place who are willing to share these ideas with you, and not white people. Do not learn it from white people. Learn it from people of color, because they have the lived experience, and they are not lying, and they're not complaining, and they're not being annoying. Those are the people that are willing to learn. Don't go to the people in your life. Just sit and listen and shut up. There's been plenty of times that I've wanted to jump in there and say, I've never put a raisin in potato salad. Why do I have to live with that shadow my entire life? But clearly, some other white person made that happen before me, and now I have to live with it.
So there's been a lot of talk on TikTok about this purple revolution. And I've been seeing a lot of white men and white women getting excited about this this revolution that's about to or trying to occur. I'm just not buying it. You could come in my comments, you could say whatever you want. I mean, I don't want to say not buying it, but I'm not buying into it. Because when we trying to do the purple revolution back in November, and I get it, you know, I know that that's in the past and we got to move forward, but how many times I don't know about you, but how many times that I have put my trust into certain people just to be disappointed? Now, I'm still going to do the right thing and I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. But as far as promoting and getting excited about this purple revolution, the only purple revolution that I know, he's in heaven.
To my conservative friends out there, I think we can all agree the last administration was corrupt as fuck. The problem is the same rich-ass motherfuckers that funded that administration also fund this one. Both sides are massively funded by AIPAC money. They take their orders from AIPAC, not the American people. It's just a bunch of rich motherfuckers protecting their interests. And we are not one of them. What they want is for us to be fighting each other so that we're not actually dealing with them. They want us distracted with stupid bullshit like trans people in sports and stuff that really doesn't matter on a massive scale. It's not left versus right. It's always been top versus bottom. This administration does not give a shit about any one of us. They care about their corporate donors. Like the ones using AI to steal all our data and police us. They're trying to put a new world order together. And the sooner all of us realize that and start working together, we can actually do something about it. It's not blue and red anymore. It is purple. It is the people party versus the 1%.
Welcome back, guys, and thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me till this time. And I hope you guys have seen all of the single clips that I've actually played for you from beginning to the end. And you can see my number one reason why I said these people are tired. The Maga supporters are tired. You know, initially when they went into all of this, we must vote Donald Trump. He is the best president, the best candidate. I am Maga. There is nothing you can tell me. I stand here. I mount here. I mount here. We are going to take over this country. This country needs to be cleaned up. This country needs illegal immigrants to go. This country needs a lot of things to actually be set up. There need to be tariffs. There need to be food stamps, because why? It is the black community that is actually enjoying more. There need to be DEI, and so on and so forth. When they came up with all of this, they didn't know that 99% of every single thing they are going to be coming up with is definitely going to affect them. They didn't know. They thought that every single thing that the orange man was saying was actually going to be in their favor. And now they are seeing that instead of backfiring on the black community, it is now backfiring on them. It is not showing to their faces. They are not struggling to survive, even with the regime that they actually put. Now they are not looking for a way now to involve the black community, as far as I'm concerned, in something we call agreements, so that they can assume that every single person is one. I really cannot tell you that every single intention of this man that started this purple revolution is bad. I'm not saying that, right? But I'm seeing it from a different angle, that if every single thing that I've actually voted for is actually favoring them very well, will they ever come out to open their mouth and say they want to do something called purple revolution? If it was a black man that actually stood and be like, okay, let's have a purple revolution where the black community, where the red and the blues are coming together, do you think that these people will actually support? I don't know. Just let me know if you think that these people will actually support. I want to know. Because now that they are saying that it is backfiring on them, they are losing every single thing. Everything they actually planned for is going drain. Now that they find out that 70% of them are the ones that are on welfare. They are the ones that love to give birth to children just because they want to be on food stamps. Now that they find out that the tariffs is not only affecting the black community, but is also torturing them on their east, west, and south. Now that they find out that the farmers are no longer producing as they can, and most of the people that actually do farm work are still the white folks. And now that they find out that illegal immigrants have gone and nothing is actually working as it's supposed to work, now they want the purple resolution. A lot of things is tied to this purple revolution that I'm really not comfortable with. You can see for some of the videos that I've actually been able to roll out to you guys, where some black folks are actually saying this revolution, I don't think is going to work out for us. I don't think this revolution is actually for our own favor, because at the end of everything, these people love to use people that look like me, so that when they are done using them, they not later come to the realization that these people are not like us. We need to push them to one corner. Because check it from the time of slavery, how we started. Black people were enslaved. Black people were tortured. Black people were committed different atrocities. But when it comes to payment of reparations were paid to the enslavers, but it was never paid to the black community. And you want me to sit here and believe that this revolution is for the good of both the black and the white folks? I don't think that. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I know that this is going to hurt a lot of people out there, but I need to say it as it is. I don't think it is for the favor of black community. I think it is an opportunity for them to just use black folks, come together, do whatsoever they want to do. And at the end of the day, they will tell them, you do not belong here. At the end of the day, they will tell them, we've taken the country now, so you know that this racism of everything can never be erased. That is what they're looking for. If the whole president can open his mouth one day to say, black people built this nation, black people did this on this nation, black people did that on this nation, but still we need to come together and fix. If he can say all of that, and at the end of the day he is still a high, as far as I'm concerned, high racist, I don't think there is nothing that cannot come from every single person that is not my skin color. I'm sorry if I'm hurting toes. I'm sorry if I'm stepping up on toes, but I'm just saying it as it is to me. So if you're a black person out there, you want to support this purple revolution, I'm not saying you should not. Go ahead and support it. Go ahead and do what you think it is best for you. But I'm going to tell you that in no time or in future time to come, you're going to be seeing that even this revolution you actually supported was never for good. Anyways, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Have you been seeing all of that? Let me know. If you haven't subscribed, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you. Mwah.